Hello everyone, I'm Major Jip, and today I am going to be taking a quick look at something that you might not even know exists. Now, I know there's a lot of fake Apple chargers on the market, you know, the ones that look like the little square, but I didn't know the Chinese companies are making rip-offs of the Samsung chargers, you know, the ones that come with the Galaxy S4 and the S5, and that's what I have here today. Can you tell which one is the real one and which ones are the fake ones? I'm sure you could see this one isn't a Samsung charger, but how about the difference between these two? Well, you can see this one's printed up a bit more, and this one has UL listing. That one doesn't, which means this one is the real and this one is another fake. You could also see the printing is a bit different. Below that, it has the Samsung logo on top and everything. So what I'm going to do today is check all of these chargers and see what the differences between them all are. Now, we'll get a baseline first. Now this chart tests voltage and amperage, and this is a load tester that you could set from 1 amps resistance to 2 amps resistance for USB, just for testing these kinds of chargers. Now this is, you know, an old extension cord, but I have this one for a reason. It holds the prongs in pretty tight, you know, about as tight as a wall outlet would. So let me first put power onto this. And we'll go with the baseline. Okay, this is the UL listed genuine Samsung charger. So you plug that in, and you put this little tester on it, and 5.1 volts. Now we will test it at 1 amp first. And at 1 amp, it's drawing about 0.9 amps, then it's at 5 volts. Set it to 2, it's 1.8 amps, and the voltage is at 5.04. So, of course, as you'd expect, the genuine Samsung charger is, you know, completely on spec to handle 2 amps of power going into it. This one, which is just marked down as a travel charger, we'll see. It has a rating of 5 volts, 2 amps from the, you know, charging circuitry. So let's plug this one in. I'll use the same plug. It didn't make a pop noise, that's good. So without anything plugged in, we're measuring about 5.4 volts, which is within spec. Now let's set this to 1 amp, and it drops down to 3.7 volts at 0.6 amps. So what happens if we set it to 2 amps? Wow, the screen dims down to the point where I can't even read it. It's at 0.7 amps and 2.2 volts. So, this charger is a horrible, horrible charger. So, it's probably a 500 milliamp charge circuit that they just put 2 amps rating on it and, you know, shipped it out of the factory. Now, I'm going to unplug this before trying to unplug this charger. And I have a reason for that. It might not show with this one. But if we pull this out, you can see right there, I hope you can see right there, that that one prong is loose. Now that is not good, because the first time I plugged this into the wall, this prong came out. And this is something you're going to see with this other one in a worse degree. This prong, which was plugged into the hot side of the outlet, was just stuck in the wall outlet. So that is a serious electrocution hazard, not even counting, you know, how badly this thing is built. It's an electrocution hazard anyway if the prong comes out. And of course this one doesn't take anything to open. That's it. And that's what the circuit board looks like. Of course, no space between the wall side and the low 5-volt side. Absolutely no creepage distance at all. And you have, let's see here, you have the hot going right into there. So this whole side is pretty much hot, and just between those is where it separates the hot and the wall side and the low voltage side. So this thing is pretty much deadly, because all you get is, you get a little bit of corrosion on this, and you can have house voltage going onto the grounded port of the USB, or any of the other parts of the USB. So that's scary and bad, and that thing should not even exist. But I'm sure you're wondering, what about the one that's marked down as being a Samsung charger and has all the markings except for UL listing, which I guess, you know, the Chinese knockoff manufacturers don't want to get caught for putting in, you know, fake UL listing, I guess. I don't know. But it does say Samsung on the top and Samsung on the side. I don't know why they wouldn't put UL listings. They just copied anything. So, okay, the power is off on this plug. Let me plug it in. And you might hear a pop, because this thing makes, pulls some power when you plug it in. So we have that. Let's see what the voltage is for there. 5.22 volts. We will set this to 1 amp. 4.90 volts at 0.8 amps. Okay, so it's not exactly as good as the Samsung charger. And if you're pulling 2 amps, it goes down to 4.8 volts. I'm actually kind of amazed it's able to pull about 2 amps from this charger. So I mean, this charger does put out the proper amount of power, I guess. I wouldn't trust using it. And there's a reason I wouldn't trust using it. Let me unplug this first. That. No matter what socket you plug it into, these prongs come out. Now, if that was plugged into a wall outlet, you now have 2 prongs that are carrying the live and the neutral from your wall voltage. Now, if this was a Samsung charger, this wouldn't happen. And I just gotta... yeah, it's unplugged. So I don't know how these things are getting sold with the prongs like this. I mean, I will, you know, say that this plug holds it in tight, but this happened, the same exact thing happened when it was plugged into a wall outlet. And of course, it doesn't happen with a real Samsung charger. I can plug it in and unplug it all I want. It's not going to come out. So, I wonder what's inside of this, actually. This one's not coming open quite as easily as the other cheaper one. I wonder if I can just grab the top and pull it. I should grab my bigger pair of linesmen. Ooh! Well, that was easy. So yeah, that was glued in place. Okay, that makes sense. Should have a pair of needle nose for this, but I don't care. Oh, looks like it's stuck into place. There it goes. Okay. Well, I mean, at least we have a fuse on this one. Wow, that's surprising. Chinese manufacturers actually threw a fuse on there. We have, you know, the little transformer, the USB plug. Was it a diode? Yeah, probably. You know, a few electrolytic capacitors. The little tiny fuse, the little prongs that it connects into, a little electrolytic, a chip that says it is a EL817 by Everlight, a chip that has MB6M, and a 8-pin chip that has nothing on it at all. Now, you can tell this isn't an official charger, because there's no isolation slots, though there is some, what is it, paint, I guess. It's not really a paint, but it's a non-conductive material between the USB port and all of the other circuitry, but still not enough. Is it a mauve? And yeah, a little fuse. So, I mean, this one's a little bit more safe. A little tiny bit more safe. Not by much. So, I will leave you with that and tell you, if you're going to buy another charger for your phone, go for a Belkin, or, you know, any name brand charger that has a UL listing, or buy one directly from Samsung, because you never know if you're going to get a fake one. Thank you for watching. I hope you found this informative or interesting or anything. If you have a comment, feel free to leave one. This is Major Chip, signing out.